Today we look into another interesting topic on ages. So these are some of the formula or tips to solve age-related problems. We can say these are the tips where we can use those tips in our problem to arrive at an answer. See, if the ages of three persons are given, say A, B, and C, and suppose A is older than B and B is older than C. In such a case, always we need to assume the age of younger person. That is, here the younger person is C. We need to assume the age of younger person C as X. So if the age of any person is not known, we can assume their age as X, and if there are more than one person involved, then we need to assume the age of younger person as X, and from there we start to derive an equation and solve the problem. And the second tip is, in some other problem we come across the age as 4 years ago or 4 years later, like this. So always the present age of that particular person is also not known. So we can assume the present age of the person as X 4 years ago, isn't it? 4 years ago, that is, we are dealing with the past history. So we need to subtract 4 from the present age. So if the present age is X, then 4 years ago it will be X minus 4. If it is 4 years later, that is in the future case, in such a case, that is, the present age is X, and if it is 4 years later, then it will be X plus 4. These things we need to remember. So these are the things we need to frame an equation, and we can solve the value for X. And the third tip is, age of B is 3 times the age of A. Age of B is 3 times the age of A. So let us assume age of A as X, that is the younger person. So assume that age of A as X, age of B is 3 times. The clue given is the second person age is 3 times the age of first person. 3 times, so it is 3x, the multiple of 3. So 3 into x, that is age of B as 3x. There is another variation in the same case where age of B is 3 times more than age of A. See the difference between the previous one and this case. See, in this case they have given that age of B is 3 times more than the age of A. In the previous case it is just age of B is 3 times the age of A. So if age of A as X, B as 3x, it is very simple. But here again there is a slight variation. So please note, whenever in the problem if there occurs 3 times, it is 3x, 3 times more than the age of A, again you need to add x to that 3x, because more, the word more is indicated. So age of B is 3 times more than age of A. So here the age of A as X, age of B as 3x plus x. Why we are adding that plus x? Because they have indicated that it is 3 times more than the age of A. So age of A plus 3 times the age of A. So 3x plus x. So it is 4x. So we have to keenly observe that what is given in the problem, whether it is 3 times or 3 times more than. So we need to be very clear in we need to look at it, right? So once after framing the equation, after finding out like x minus 4 or 3x or 3x plus 4, whatever it is, we need to build an equation so that we can solve the value for x and derive an equation. These are some steps what we have to follow to solve the age problems, right? So these are some basics. Now we let into a problem. The first one is, the present age of a father is 3 years more than. See, look at here, it is given 3 years more than. So more, if it comes more, then obviously go for addition, right? 3 years more than 3 times the age of his son. There are 2 twists given in the first statement itself. Next, 3 years hence. See, hence means after. 3 years hence, father's age will be 10 years more than twice the age of his son. Twice the age of his son. Find the present age of the father, right? So first we have to frame an equation using the tips mentioned above. Okay, the present age of the father is 3 years more than 3 times the age of the son. So who is the younger person here? Son is the younger person. So assume the age of the son as X. if the age of the son is x, now try to frame or build the equation for the first statement, that is what will be the age of the father. It is 3 years more than 3 times. 3 times means 3x. 3 years more than means 3x plus 3. Am I right? See, listen. So the son's present age be x, father's present age is 3x plus 3. Why? 3x is 3 times. Father's age is 3 times the age of the son. So it is 3x, and it is 3 years more than the age. So it is 3x plus 3. So father's present age is equal to 3x plus 3. Can you understand this? So now shall we proceed to the next statement of the problem? See, the next step is 3 years hence, that is after 3 years, father's age will be 10 years more than twice the age of the son. 3 years hence. So now present age is 3x plus 3, that is the present age. After 3 years means again you have to add 3 because it is after 3, so we have to add 3. If it is before 3 we will use to subtract. Since it is after 3 years you have to add it. So 3x plus 3 after 3 years. Father's age is equal to, what they have given is twice, 10 years more than, listen, it is 10 years more than twice the age of the son. So the present age of the son is x plus 3 and 10 years more than, so I have added plus 10. It is twice the age of the son. Age of the son is x plus 3. Since it is twice, I have multiplied by 2. So 2 into x plus 3 plus 10. This is the second form of an equation. So now I think we can solve the value for x. So now simplify this equation. 3x plus 6 is equal to 2x plus 16. So bring all x on one side and the values on the other side. From this we get the value of x as 10. So hence father's present age, because what is asked in the question? Present age of the father. So we find the present age of the son as 10 years. So father's present age, what we have assumed here is 3x plus 3. Substitute the value for x as 10. So it's a 3 into 10 plus 3, which is equal to 33 years. So father's present age is equal to 33 years. Is it clear? See, you need to know how to frame the equation. Once you are very much aware in framing the equation, you are very much clear in it, then it is dead easy to solve the rest of the problems. So always observe the problem. Try to understand what is given in the problem, who is the younger person. Always assume the age of the younger person as x and try to understand it is 3 times more than or twice or after 3 years or before 3 years. So come to a conclusion, and if it is before you need to subtract, if it is after you need to add, if it is twice you have to multiply the age by 2, if it is thrice you need to multiply the age by 3. It goes on like this. Okay. So once we solve 1 or 2 problems, then you will be much more familiar in framing the equation, I think so. Okay, now the second problem is present ages of Samir and Anand are in the ratio of 5:4 respectively. 3 years hence, the ratio of their ages will become 11:9 respectively. What is Anand's present age in years? And they have given you the answer options also as A 24, B 27, C 40 and D cannot be determined. That is, the ages cannot be determined. That is the last option. Okay. See here, this is the second type of problem where the ages are mentioned in the ratio. Right? Their ages are given in terms of ratio. So the present ages of Samir and Anand are in the ratio of 5:4. So the present ages. So if the ratio is given, we need to find out the value. We do not know the value. So the ratio multiplied by a common factor will give you the value. So let me take that common factor as x. So let me have an assumption that the present ages of Samir and Anand as 5x and 4x. The ratio as 5:4. So the ages become 5x and 4x. Let me take like that. That's an assumption. So the present ages as 5x and 4x. And 3 years hence, that is after 3 years, the ratio of their ages will become 11:9. What is their present age? 5x and 4 years. If it is after 3 years, you have to add 3, isn't it? So 5x plus 3 and 4x plus 3. Once you add after 3 years, the ratio becomes 11:9. So you can equate it. So let the present ages of Samir and Anand be 5x and 4x, and then after 3 years their ratio is equal to 11/9. So we can equate these two ratios. 5x plus 3 by 4x plus 3 is equal to 11 by 9. Go for cross multiplication. You get the value of x as 6. Okay. So now what is asked in the question? Actually we calculated value of x, Anand's present age. What is Anand's present age? It is 4x. So substitute value of x here, 4 into 6, that is 24 years. So the answer is answer option A, 24. Is it clear? So here the ages are mentioned in terms of ratio. From the ratio, what we have to do? We have to find the common factor. Actually we do not know the ages exactly. So I assume their ages or the factor as x, multiply the common factor with the corresponding ratio, so their ages becomes 5x and 4x. And there is another clue which is given in the problem, that after 3 years definitely the ratio changes. Why the ratio changes? Because the age changes. After 3 years, if I am 18 now, after 3 years I becomes 21. So my age definitely changes after 3 years. As time proceeds, age varies, isn't it? Similarly, if my age change, correspondingly my ratio has an effect, has an impact over it. So if my age change, the ratio will also get affected because of it. So using that clue, here also the same clue is given, that after 3 years the ratio of the ages will become 11:9. So initially I have an assumption that my ages as 5x and 4x. If it is after 3 years, it becomes 11 by 9. So I can equate these two ratios. By equating it, I can solve the value for x. And once I get the value of x, now it is very much easier for me to calculate the present age of Anand. Initially, Anand's present age is assumed as 4x. Now, substituting the value of x over there, 4 into 6, which is 24. Yes? And the next problem, that is also given in terms of ratio. The ratio between the present ages of P and Q is 5:7 respectively, right? If the difference between Q's present age and P's age after 6 years is 2, what is the total of P's and Q's present ages? Okay, so the ratio between the present ages of P and Q is given. Difference between Q's present age and P's age after 6 years. Q's present age and P's age after 6 years, and that difference is given as 2. That is the clue here. Using that clue we can solve the value for x. So this is how we have to get an information from the problem. Thereby we can proceed with that. So what is the total of P's and Q's present age? Okay, now let us first try to calculate the present ages of P and Q individually. So the ratio is there, so the assumption is multiply the common factor with the ratio. So the present ages of P and Q can be taken as 5x and 7x. Yes, can we? Yes. So the present ages of P and Q can be taken as 5x and 7x. And the next clue are taken as 5x and 7x. Next clue is difference between Q's present age. What is Q's present age? It is 7x. P's age after 6 years. Now P's present age is 5 years. After 6 years means you have to add 6. So 5x plus 6, and that difference is equal to 2. That is Q's present age. That is 7x minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 2. Am I right? So this is Q's present age. See, the arrow indicates here. This is Q's present age, and this is P's age after 6 years. So 7x and they have said that the difference, so I have subtracted, and the difference value is mentioned as 2. So I have equated to 2. 7x minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 2, from which 7x minus 5x will give you 2x. 2x minus 6, so 2x is equal to this minus 6, when it goes this side it becomes plus. So 2 plus 6, 8. 2x is equal to 8, x is equal to 4. Now they have calculated what they have what we are supposed to find. Yeah, we need to find the total of P's and Q's present ages. So it is 5x plus 7x. Substitute the value of x as 4, which is 12x, which is 12 into 4, 48 years. So that is the sum of the ages of P and Q. So we go with the answer option B. Is that clear? Yes. The next one. 18 years ago, a father was 3 times as old as his son. See, only it is 3 times. There is no more than word here. Okay. And now the father is only twice, now that is currently the father is only twice as old as his son. Then the sum of the present ages of the son and the father. Yes, again they are asking to calculate the total of their ages, the present ages of the both father and the son. Okay, now we have an assumption. Who is the younger one here? Son. So let me assume the age of the son as x. And 18 years ago means you have to subtract how many years? 18 years. So 18 years ago, x minus 18. See, if father's age goes, that is 18 years ago, again son's age should also get subtracted. The common mistake what we make is, we'll subtract the years from fathers and we forget to subtract the same years from the son's part also. See, if time varies, if the time varies, it gets reflected in both of their ages. If I went 3 years back, my age will be 13 years, and what about your age? It will be in the same age? No, you will be also traveling along with the time, so your age will also get affected. So always, if you reduce or increase the father's age, the same reflection should be there on the other, that is the counterpart, which is the son's side. So here, father was 3 times as old as his son. See, let the present ages of father and son be, we'll take like that, 2x and x. We have taken that now because here it is given. See, now which is present age of father is only twice as old as his son. So if the son's age is x, father's age will be 2x. That is one assumption what we have made. And next, 18 years ago, isn't it? 18 years ago, what happened? 18 years ago, so father's age is 2x. So I have subtract 18 because it is we are dealing with the past cases. That is the days which has already gone. So 2x minus 18 is equal to, what about the son's age? If father travels beyond 18 years, son's age will also get reflected. So you have to subtract 18 from the son's age also. Now the son's age is x. So x minus 18. And what is the comparison? 18 years ago, father's age was 3 times. So 18 years ago, so 2x is the father's age. It is 18 years ago, so 2x minus 18. If father travels 18 years before, that is beyond, then you have to subtract the same 18 from the son's age. So it should be x minus 18. And father's age is equal to 3 times. So I have multiplied by 3. Yes, that's it. From this we can easily calculate the value of x. That is 2x minus 18 is equal to 3x minus 54, where x is equal to 36. And we are supposed to calculate the sum of the present age of the son and the father. So father's age is 2x and son's age is x. 2x plus x, that is 3x. X is 36. Substitute here, 3 into 36, which is 108 years is the final answer. Right? Okay. Now there is another kind of problem here. See, which belongs to a different category. A person was asked to state his age in years, right? His reply was, it's a direct speech, take my age 3 years hence, multiply it by 3, and then subtract 3 times my age 3 years ago, and you'll know how old I am. Yes, it's a nice speech. From this we need to derive an equation. That's very important. What was the age of the person? Okay, right. Take my age 3 years hence. Okay, hence means after. See, let the present age. We need to calculate. Always we assume the present age as x because no other go. So just assume the present age of that particular person is as x. And what he's saying, take my age 3 years hence, multiply it by 3. And then subtract 3 times my age 3 years ago. 3 times my age 3 years ago. See, now present age as x. Okay, present age as x, it is plus actually. Okay, take my age 3 years hence, multiply it by 3. Yes, I have multiplied it by 3, so it is 3 into x minus 3. And then subtract 3 times my age 3 years ago. So we are subtracting 3 times the age 3 years ago. So again it is x minus 3. and again 3 times, so I have to multiply and we have to subtract, so this minus symbol comes here. 3 years ago, and you will know how old I am. See, that's all. The equation is framed, and from this we can deduce, that is 3x minus 3 minus 3x plus 3. Actually it is plus 3, sorry, 3x, it is not minus, it is plus. Okay, so if you solve this equation, you will get the value of x as 18, and that is the present age of that particular person. Okay, then Aisha's father was 38 years of age when she was born, while her mother was 36 years old when her brother 4 years younger to her was born. What is the difference between the ages of her parents? It is quite difficult to understand. See, I'll read it once again. Aisha's father was 38 years of age when she was born. Okay, while Aisha was born, her father was 38 years, right? And while her mother was 36 years old when her brother, which is 4 years younger to her, was born. So when her brother, who is 4 years younger to Aisha, was born, her mother was 36 years old. So what is the difference between the ages of her parents? So they have played with the words, but it is very easy to solve the problem once we understand the meaning behind that, right? Right, mother's age when Aisha's brother was born, what was given? Mother's age was 36 years when Aisha's brother was born. And what is the difference between Aisha and her brother? It was 4 years, right? Okay. When her brother was born, they have given some equations here. I don't need all these things. So after 4 years, I have added 4 because when Aisha was born, we know her father's age, right? Aisha's father was 38 years when she was born. Okay, what about her mother's age? When she was born, while her mother was 36 when her brother 4 years younger to her was born. So it is 38 plus 4, which is 42 years. Okay, so here the required difference is 42 minus 36. 4 years younger. What is the difference between the ages of her parents? So when Aisha was born, her father was 38 years. At that time, her mother will be 32. 4 years difference, isn't it? So 36 minus 4. So it will be 32. Aisha's father was 38 and her mother was 32 when Aisha was born. But after 4 years, so 38 plus 4. So now her father was 42 years of age and her mother was 36. So just find out the difference. Very simple. See, don't look at this part, that x plus 3. It will be quite confusing for you. Please just understand my observation, my explanation. You will get the answer. Okay. Now we are very clear why we are adding this 4. Because her father was 38 when she was born, but the difference between Aisha and her brother was 4 years. So now I need to calculate the present age of her father. So when Aisha was born, he was 38. After 4 years, now it was 4 years past, so I need to add 4. After 4 years, he became 42 years. At that time, her mother was 36 only. So the difference is 42 minus 36, which is 6 years. Very simple. And the last problem is 10 years ago, the age of father was 4 times the age of the son. Okay. 10 years hence, age of father was twice the age of the son. Find the present age of father and son. Here we can have a different assumption. See, 10 years ago. So age of the son 10 years ago. Let me have the age of the son 10 years ago as x. So very clearly or in a very simple manner we can solve this. So instead of assuming the present age of the son as x, here we assume that 10 years ago the age of the son be x. So what will be the age of the father? And it is given in the problem that he is 4 times the age. 4 times means you have to multiply the x by 4. So it is 4x. Sir, here x means the son's age 10 years ago and 4x is meant for the father's age 10 years ago. So it is 10 years ago. So if you want to come to the present age, so they are 10 years back. So bring them to the present age. So add 10 to x. So present age of son will be x plus 10 and the present age of the father will be 4x plus 10. Okay, now I have calculated the present age also. And again, there is the hint and the problem that 10 years hence, which means after 10 years, age of father was twice the age of the son. Only this, from this point we can frame the equation, right? After 10 years, that is age of the father was twice after 10 years. So present age is x plus 10. Again after 10 years you have to add 10 to this. So x plus 20. Present age of son is x plus 20. Sorry, after 10 years. After 10 years the age of the father was 4x plus 20. And the clue is 4x plus 20 is equal to twice the age of the son. So this is the age of the father after 10 years. This is the age of the son after 10 years. And the relation is father's age is twice the age of the son. So I have multiplied the son's age by 2, that is given in the problem. And from this we can derive the value for x, which is equal to 10. And now it is very simple. We are supposed to calculate the present age of the father and son. So substitute the value of x here, which is 10 plus 10, 20. And 4x, that is 4 into 10, 40 plus, here it is, sorry, the present age, 4x plus 10, that is 4 into 10, 40 plus 10, which is 50. So the present age of father and son are 20 and 50 respectively. Is that clear, friends? Thank you so much for watching.